Hello and welcome to Middenmoon. This is kind of a factory-based automation game, a lot of resource management. It is in its very early stages. It's in a playtest version right now in Steam. As far as I know, it looks like it's available to everyone, so you can just click on the playtest and play it. It's quite a unique game. As far as it goes, there's a lot of different features to it. For instance, the recipes are quite elaborate in this game. You know, most machines you put 2 ingredients in, you get one product out. This one has a whole bunch of stuff. So like, for instance, we have to make this AGI candle eventually. This requires these 4 items to make this 1 candle, but like each item in that menu requires 4 different items to make. Plus it actually generates 3 different items. So there's a lot of balancing to do, a lot of resources to manage. So it's a lot of fun, and the power network is quite interesting in this one as well. So we'll jump right into it. We do have to work through some of these goals here. There's a hub in the middle of the planet that we have to deliver some of these items to unlock the next phase. We're going to try to jump through these pretty quickly because I want to get down to this 4th one here, which unlocks the beam separator, which is what I want to use to actually set up our base so that's not a big mess. I think I have a good layout planned that's going to work well for this game, but we won't know until we get down to here. So let's just jump right into it. Zoom into the hub here. This is our hub in the center here. Got a whole bunch of little resource nodes here. This is basically a planet that has been, I guess, abandoned. There's a lot of wasted stuff on here. We got some machines. We got some bio waste. We have some canisters. So the first thing we want to do is the goals menu. We have to deliver 100 ice and 100 machines. So this is the machines up here, this blue one. We can just throw an excavator down on it. There we go, got an excavator on there, and then it needs power. So the power in this game works with these red beams, blue beams, and green beams. And eventually you'll actually have to combine them into like yellow and magenta. So it's going to get quite elaborate quite quickly. And it's kind of like Ghostbusters, you can't cross the beams, right? Like once the beam is there, it basically cuts off the other beams. So we cannot cross beams. So it's going to get quite messy to begin with. But I think I have a layout that'll fix that once we get to that point. So this requires the red beam. Luckily the red crystal is right here, so we can put down a beam emitter on it. We'll rotate it over this way. You can kind of see the line where it's going to go. So this is the beam here. And you can put down these little things here. This basically bends the beam. There we go. So now we are generating power here. It just crosses over there and gives it power, and it keeps going. So you can keep using that beam for other things. We'll grab some conveyor belts here, and we can just put them right on the thing here. Drag them down to here, and then over to the hub. Just like that. That gets us machines going, and we also need some ice. Ice, I believe, is over here. Is up here. It requires a blue beam. We have a blue power emitter right here. So we can just grab this, rotate down here, put it facing the wrong way, put a little bendy thing in. Boom, so that's blue beam up here. Now we've got to put an extractor on here and put some conveyor belts down. Nice. And just like that, we can hover over the thing, and we have 200 machines already delivered, and the ice will be here momentarily. All right, there we go. Our next goal is to deliver machines clean. You can look at the recipes menu here. Got a whole bunch of menus here. This is the machine clean, so this requires ice and machines with a green beam, and that makes us some clean machines as well as some dirt. So we're going to have to handle dirt. Otherwise, if dirt backs up, the factory will stop producing. So we're going to go ahead and put down one of these machines here. We unlock this one here. So we're just going to throw it down here for now. We're not going to be too worried about organization right now and get until we get to the level 4 one so that we can create the base the way we want it. So let's just get these hooked into here. So now this needs a green beam. So we can't cross the beams. Unfortunately, the green beam is down here. So I guess we're going to have to kind of direct it around there for now. Again, this will get easier as we go. And as you can see right here, this crosses the red beam and it destroys the red beam. So now the red beam stops here. So beams cannot cross. So it does get quite hectic at the beginning of the game here until we get to unlock some new tools that'll help us with that. Let's just bend this one up to here. And then we can come up to here. And we can just bend it one more time. And that should get us green. We need to set a recipe on this. These 3 are locked, so they'll only have some machine washing. And there we go. This is basically operating at 1 per second. We don't have tunnels or anything yet, so we're just going to have to deal with 1 per second right now. And as you can see, I didn't deal with the dirt, so this belt automatically backed up. So we're going to have to zoom into here. Let's just delete this one right here. We'll put down a splitter. The splitters are super versatile in this game. You can click on the splitter and you can set it to overflow, which basically sends everything forward. And if it stops flowing forward, it spits it out the sides. Super nice feature. We're going to actually set a filter on this side and set this to dirt. So this way it will filter out the dirt. And we have to find a trash bin on this side here. There's one up here. That's unfortunate because we can't get to it. Where is the other? Is there another garbage around? Another garbage over here. So we can put down a negative extractor on this one. These do not require power, so that's pretty nice. And we'll just have to drag the belt all the way over here. Then you can actually hold down Shift again, select the belt, and right now Control F flushes the line. And now dirt will go out this way, the machines will come in here. So nice, let's drag this over the pit and let's just throw out dirt for a while. Nice, we'll just use that garbage line for a while right now until we get a better setup going. There you go. Now we gotta just wait till we get 100 machines cleaned up here, and our next goal will be fraudulent oil, and I don't know what we're gonna call that, TO time solution. I don't know how to pronounce it. Telomoline, some crazy names in this game, so we'll go with it. So this needs to look at the recipes to see how we get that. So this is the solution right here that we need, and it is quite. So we need to get some canisters and some ice and a yellow beam. So we're going to have to combine a blue beam or a green beam and a red beam, I believe, to make yellow. And then that'll produce these three things, which we're going to have to deal with. Okay, as a side note, we completed that goal, but there is some levels on here. It looks like if you keep delivering stuff to it, you will eventually get upgrades, so that's pretty nice. I don't know what that'll be used for. It might not be implemented yet, but it's super nice knowing that you'll be able to use your old factories to upgrade your factory, so that's pretty awesome. We also have an upgrades menu here that if we deliver so many items to the thing, we can like increase our extractors by 5 per second. Right now, if you hover over them, they tell you this is 7 per second. Like the ice, I believe, is only 5 per second. Yeah. So each one has a different speed to it that we'll have to pay attention to. We've unlocked the beam splitter here. So we're going to put down a chemical plant next. We're just going to throw that right up here for now. That's the canister cracking on that. So we're going to need to deliver these canisters to it. These require a cyan beam. And so we're going to have to figure out how to get a cyan beam. So we can actually split the beam here. So we can just zoom into this one here. It's hard to see, but it does have 2 arrows on it. So it sends one forward, one off down on the side here. And we'll probably do the same over here. We'll just split this beam. And we'll just drag it down to here. We will bounce it over this way. And then grab a beam combiner. Make sure it's facing the right way. And put it over here. And that creates a cyan beam. So it's going to get quite messy quite quickly. That sends canisters up to here. Now we need some ice in here. We're just going to take this ice line here. We don't need to keep making these right now. Drag those down. This needs a yellow beam, which is green and red. So where is red? Red is over here. Green is here. How are we going to get that there? So I think what we'll do is we will bend this one over here. And we can put actually a beam stop in here so we can like grab this here. That'll stop the beam. And we can send this beam up over here. And we can actually just delete this one. Put in a splitter over here. I put that down so I couldn't remember where it was. Delete this one. Put in a redirect over here. Nice. And we need to join these up to here, so let's bounce this one up this way. And I guess let's bounce this one over here. And then we can combine them here. Makes a yellow beam. It does stop here. You could probably put the beam stop in just so it doesn't mess with your stuff as you get moving along. So that's got power now. It's got ice. It's got canisters. So now we need to get it to the hub. Let's see what happens if we put, like, if it going forward is dirt, will it only let dirt go forward? This is actually sludge, so we need to make this sludge. So does that mean like the rest of it will go up the top here? Let's find out. Yeah, nice. So it only sends dirt forward, it sends the rest out that way. So that's good news there. Can drop that into the hub. Goes over to here. And as you can see, it's backed up, so we've got to make sure we process all this stuff. And we'll just send this on the garbage line. Nice. So that's getting the oil and the solution delivered to the hub. So that'll be done in a very short amount of time. Taking a look at our goals, this will actually unlock the belt launcher and the belt catcher. So that's basically like a tunnel so that we can cross belts now. That'll be super nice. And then this is the beam separator. So we're almost there. We're cruising to it right now. It is kind of a big mess right now, but we will just delete everything once we get to that point and set up a nice looking factory. Okay, our next goal is weapons clean and organic circuits. So it's going to start getting a little bit more complicated now. We can look at the recipe book over here. Weapons clean require this light blue solution and weapons, plus a red beam to make dirt and clean weapons, and then organic circuits need this oil and this bio waste, and it generates a whole bunch of stuff: organic circuits, sludge, and dirt. So let's just go ahead and start putting some of this in. We can pretty much leave some of this. Let's just delete some of this to clear out the area a little bit. And so we need let's do I guess this one first. Set the recipe to weapons cleaning. You can kind of hover over it. Sees we need 1 second. We need a red beam, and we need weapons and the light blue solution. Where's the red beam at? It's over here. So we can probably get that over there pretty easily. Here's the weapons. What color beam does that need? That needs a green beam. So it's going to get quite messy here. We can grab the splitter. And we can probably just put it like right here. Did I get it? Did get it. Nice. Let's bring these weapons down into here. That is weapons. We need the blue solution. So we can probably grab a splitter here. Grab that. We can set the priorities on this. So we'll set the light blue to go up top here, and we'll just set this one to be the oil. So come up to here. So that's going to stop because the oil has to come out this way. Nice, so that is that. This needs a red beam. How are we going to get a red beam over here? So we're going to have to, we can put a stop in here. We can split this beam over to here. You can see how this could get quite messy quite quickly. But luckily I have an idea on how to fix this. But we need to unlock some things to get there. So we can just come up and around this way, and then this has to be like right here. Nice, so that's red beam. So that's everything we need for that one. We just need to filter out the dirt. And probably get rid of some of this. Actually, we'll just get rid of all of this because we don't need this machine right now. I don't think. We might need it, but we'll see. Let's send the dirt off to the this way. This will be dirt. Right, this produces dirt. So that'll be weapons clean coming in. And dirt will go out the garbage line. Nice, so that's that one set up, and then we need organic circuits. What do organic circuits need? They need a chemical plant, so just put one down over here so we can see what it needs. This is organic circuits. So it needs bio waste, fraudulent oil, and it produces circuits, sludge, and dirt, and it needs a cyan beam. So we need to get a blue beam up here, I believe, right? Yes. How are we going to get a blue beam up there? Because we have kind of circled it around. Get the extractor on here. Again, super sloppy. We're just trying to get to the unlock that I need so that I can set up my base. So that is bio waste coming in. We need the oil, which is over here. We can use our new belt launcher. So we can set it to here. As far as I know, I can hop 3 spaces at full speed. Once you go more than 3 spaces, it does slow down a little bit. So, but this should be fine for what we need. So it hops the belt, pretty nice. Draws a little tunnel so you can see it's connected. Super nice. And we gotta figure out how to get a cyan beam over to here. We need somehow to get a blue beam in here. But we can't cross the blue beam because we need the green beam over here for this guy. So I guess we could bring the blue beam out around over the top of this. That would work. We'll come up to here. We're going to have to go around it. over to here. Let's come somewhere down into here. We'll grab a splitter in here. Nice, that is cyan beam. This needs magenta. I had the wrong color. Of course I did. This one's cyan. Okay, so we didn't waste it. We'd still need it. Nice, so that is cyan, so that's working now. I just gotta follow it down, make sure it didn't cut off our beam. So I usually put these in just to make sure that I know that's what I needed it for and it doesn't mess anything else up, because it's kind of random what beams it cuts off. And this is magenta, which is red and blue, which luckily we have right here. Nice, there we go. So that's everything we need to do with output on this one. This is organic circuits, sludge, and dirt. So we're going to have to do a belt hopper again, or a splitter here. We will set the to be the organic circuits. Grab a belt. And what's nice is you can actually just drag it and it automatically creates a tunnel. Super nice feature. And then this can go down to the garbage belt. Must have deleted some of this, so that's not good. We need to keep this moving. And there we go. We have organic circuits coming in and the orange clean machines coming in. We're at 4x right now. It seems to work pretty well right now, so it'll help us meet the goal pretty quickly. And that's going to unlock the beam separator, which is what we wanted. So I can actually delete everything I've done after this point and start over. Okay, here's an overview of my factory at this point. It is a hot mess. There's light beams going everywhere. It is going to be super hard to expand, and pretty soon here we're going to have to start making rather large factories that are going to have to be expandable. So this is not going to work going forward. So we are actually just going to, I think, just shift click everything and just delete it. And we're going to basically start over. We don't have that much invested in it right now, so it's not too big a deal. Nice. So what we're going to do is we have this beam separator right now, so like you can actually combine beams. So like you can combine this one, this over to here. So you can combine the beams. We have a cyan beam here. And what you can do is actually put this beam separator in, and it will separate it back to blue and green. So nice, we'll have access to the blue and green if we have one cyan beam coming straight down the line. So what we're going to do is basically set up like that. We're going to have a green line or a cyan line on the bottom, a red line on the top, and then we'll have access to all three colors, and we can mix and match them as we need them, and it should work out beautifully. Okay, so there we go. I've basically created a zone in the middle here that I can basically branch these off at any point and get any color I need now. I can separate this back out to blue and green. I can shoot the red down here and combine them to make magenta. So I should have, as long as I stay within the zone, I think it should work for what we need. We'll have to see how expandable it is as we go, but let's take a look at the next goal here. Next goal is AI candle. We're going to start working towards full belts of stuff. So if we check the upgrades button here, you can see the belt speed is 6 per second. So we're going to try to work at 6 per second. So we're going to try to do 6 per second AI candles, which is actually quite a bit because this uses quite a bit of materials. Jump into the recipes here. The AI candle uses machine clean, weapon clean, and organic circuits. So I think the first thing we're going to do is work on getting these oil and solution done. We need a ton of this going forward. So that is going to be canister cracking. So basically what we'll do is we will set up a row going vertically here of those. Let's just zoom in somewhere down here and just start building a little factory. Can adjust it as we go. We still need to unlock the belt loaders and mergers, which will really help us compact our factories. But for now, we'll deal with what we have. Let's just throw the chemical plant down here. Just get one going, and then we will copy and paste it. This is canister cracking. So basically what we're going to do is bring in stuff from the right side and output on the left side. So it's going to have ice and canisters coming in. Like I believe ice is going to come from the top and canisters are going to come from the bottom. And something like that would be good. Grab this. Put a splitter in here. This should be relatively easy. And we are going to, for future reference, we are just going to block this side so that it can't output there. You can see it draws a red line there. That means nothing can go that way. Put in a belt launcher and a belt catcher. Then we need a regular belt in here to get this one going. Nice. So right now we don't have a choice. We have to do a kind of weird setup right now. We'll unlock some new tools here very shortly that'll help compact this. But for now, Okay, so a quick revision to this. I basically set this one to filter out the solution off to the left here, and then it goes over this bridge and goes up here. The next one filters off the oil that shoots all the way over to here, goes up here, and that way we can keep these belts running the entire length of the thing and just basically connect them so that we don't have to worry about them clogging up. And this dirt just comes over to here and goes to here. So this way we can basically just delete this, we can delete all this, and now we have a little factory that we can copy and paste. Just grab this. This goes at 2 per second, so we're basically going to do, I think we have ice coming in at 5, so that would be 10 of these. 2, I think we'll put like a space in between them so we can count how many we have. 9, 10. We just got to connect the belts in here. You can also reverse drag, so you can just click here and drag up, and it just puts them down if you need them, if they're not already there. And next up, we can put down some monorails down. We haven't really talked about monorails yet, but they're basically stations that sound just like they are. They're monorails. They carry stuff from point A to point B. So we're going to put some of those down in a minute here. We will go over to here. We'll actually throw in a warehouse just so we have a little bit of buffering capacity. It doesn't make sense to separate the belts and then combine them into one warehouse, but I think it'll work for what we need. And then we'll just have to re-separate them out once we unlock the next tool, which actually I guess we'll wait to put this in until we have the right tools. Right now we don't have the unloader. The unloader will let you specify what you take out of a building. Right now we don't have that unlocked yet, so we're going to wait to put these warehouses in. I'm just going to put that as a placeholder down for now so that we can run our monorail system. The monorail system works pretty cool in this game. It basically is point A to point B delivery, and these are little stations. We're just going to zoom out down here. We're going to run, I think, just somewhere down here. Click once and just drag them out. We're just going to run a system all the way down here. Something like that. And we're going to actually run 2 of these. And then we're going to run 1 going the other direction. Alright, there we go. I've added 3 monorail lines at the top and 3 at the bottom. 2 of them are going to the left of the screen. 1 of them is coming this way and going to the right of the screen. And we'll add a second one going to the right if we need to. But right now we're actually going to delete this warehouse because I don't have the right tools right now to use it. So we're going to grab the line here and we're just going to grab 1 of these. We're going to drag it up into here. We'll drag this one up to the next station line. Because I think we're going to need a lot of this oil and solution, so we'll put a whole bunch in. That'll put that one into there, and that one into there. Click on this one. We're going to export items here. And we're going to export. We're just going to leave it as export because it'll export whatever it delivers to the thing. So this one is an export as well. Nice. Now we'll have basically those 2 items on the monorail system. The next thing we need to do is handle the trash. I think what we'll do is delete that for now. We have a trash right here. We could probably come off of this line into the trash. And like this one, we can click on import and we can select a whole bunch of items that we want to import. We're going to import dirt. We're going to import junk. And we're going to import sludge. Those are 3 items we want to throw away right now. I think that'll be fine. And we can just grab this here. Hopefully I'm bringing the dirt down here. It looks like I am. So we can set this line up to be into a station. And we'll set this as an export. And that will automatically export the dirt when it gets down there. So that is all set up. Now we just got to hook up the extractors and the ice to it. That is going to be super simple. We just click on this right here. Set this as export, so it's automatically going to export. It can only store 300 at a time. I think that's how many it carries on a monorail, but we'll see how it goes. And that was just by chance, right? Because this needed cyan and it happens to be running right through the main power line. So that is super nice. And we can come down here, grab this one, set this one as an import. We can select that we want to bring in the canisters. And there we go. We have a monorail coming. It's going to bring a 300. They can only fit 150 per monorail. So we'll probably have a second monorail coming. As soon as we have 150 stored up here, it'll release one. And you can modify these to have a queue going. The queue you have to be careful with because it will line up. They cannot pass each other, so they will back up the line if they can't drop all their stuff off. So you've got to be careful with the queue. Right now having the queue set to 0 basically means it won't deliver until it can fit a full load in there. Super nice. Drag that down to here. And right now we don't have the grabbers, so we're just going to have to grab everything right now, which is, right now we can only have 1 item per station because we don't have the grabbers. As soon as we complete this level, we'll have the grabbers, and that'll allow us to select what material it grabs. So do the same thing up here with the ice. we're going to use the full capacity of this thing. So no, this needs a blue beam, right? So we can just come down here. Let's grab our tool. Let's line up, say I want the blue beam to come somewhere in here. So I drag this down, I drop that down the mark just as a marker so I have something to work with. Zoom in here, and we can basically split this line. This line is flowing. I gotta remember which way it's flowing. It's coming this way. So we want to rotate this around like so. Probably just do it like that. We'll put in a separator. Now that needed a blue line, right? I believe. So we can just put this up here, and we can put a terminator on this one. Nice. There we go. So that's how it's going to work. We can just basically use any color we want off this line, and we have all colors available to us. And we'll come up here, and we'll put in a stop just to make sure that it stops and it doesn't mess up something in the future. So this blue beam is good to go now. Go over to here. That's good. It's already flowing. Just got to find our line. And this system should be easily expandable. And just like that, we have oil and the solution available to anywhere on the network. So we can basically just pick a station, you know, and grab, like this is going to have, I believe this is the oil coming off and this is the solution, but we'll see once it gets up there. Oh, and these need power too. So these need a yellow beam. So what is yellow? Yellow is red and green. So what we're going to have to do is just come in here, split this, I think. Something like this. We will split the beam. Green is right where we want it. So unfortunately we're going to have to send it all the way up here. And then come down to here. Like so. We'll split this line. That's going to work beautifully. And then we'll put a combiner in. Nice. And there's our yellow beam. So it's going to be super nice. And there's our yellow coming through here, which is powered. So now we got basically a full lineup. We're going to use a full 5 per second coming out. And it's going to flow up to here, fill up the monorail, and now we'll have it available on the network. Nice. Okay, so I forget what we were making here. Let's hit the goals up here. This is AI candles we're after. So recipes, AI candles. We need weapons clean, machines clean, and organic circuits. Let's start with machines. Machines need ice and water. We're using all that ice. We're going to have to find another ice. We have a machine right here. We have an extra ice right here. So I think right now we'll just copy and paste this. It's not going to be a perfect copy setup, but it'll be close enough for what we want. We'll just put that in the middle somewhere. Something like that. Then we have to come through here. We're going to have to delete all these machines because these are not what we want. Yeah, I think we want the clean machines, which is this one. It's probably a little bit smaller. Yeah, it barely doesn't fit in here quite. So do something like that. This will be machine washing. So that's, these two will be fine. We have one coming up, one coming down. That's kind of perfect. And I guess for this right now, we'll just do this till we get the other belts unlocked. And we just have to change this. So this puts out machine clean and dirt. So the dirt we want to come out down here. The machine clean we want to come out here. So we'll just change this one to machine clean. Nice. We can actually delete this one because we don't need it for this system. Nice, and we can grab a belt here. We'll just do this for now. Again, this is all temporary because we're going to unlock better stuff at the next level so that we can upgrade this. And we'll just make sure that this gray area is at the bottom of each. Yeah, basically this gray area right here. And we'll come back and connect up the belts. Okay, for the machine parts, I think we'll just put these right on the belt here instead of putting them on the monorail since it's so close. And that should be fine for now. We'll adjust it if we needed to. One benefit to putting it on the monorail system is it'll be available to other stations should we need it. But we'll see. So we also need some weapons clean. I think we can just copy this stuff. Copy that down and we'll just, I think, stick it like... Nice. I'm just going to put a hopper in here. That should be fine. Nice. I just got to come through here and change these real quick. We've got to change these recipes to weapon cleaning. Blue solution and the weapons. So weapons are like right over here. And the solution is already on the monorail right here. Let's import some solution. And we will import some machines. Or I guess weapons. Weapons are right here. We just need to, and this one's gonna be a slight problem because this is a green beam and we can't get past this red beam, right? So we're gonna have to figure that part out. And as you can see, it's limited to 7 per second, right? It's not filling up both belts. It's giving us 3 on this belt and 4 on this belt, which is 7 per second. So, you know, once we upgrade these, then it makes sense to have more than one belt, but like belts are capped at 6, so in order to get the full potential of this, we need to have 2 belts come in and do it. Make sure we set this to export. And it's already taking some over to the thing here, so that's great. And it's gonna come over here. This needs a red beam. That's easy enough. That worked out nicely. And like here, so this cut off the beam, so we got to make sure we put the terminator in. Nice. Okay, skipping for a little bit, we got all the factories in to make AI candles. We have the machines here in the blue. We have the orange weapons, and we have the organic circuits over here. They're all being merged into this factory right here and being made into AI candles. Now let's go up here. We just got to connect them to the train right here. And nice, those will get over. And I set this to request them, so this will deliver them to the hub. And we will get the 100 candles done in relatively short time now. Nice, there it goes. And here comes our parts into the hub. Nice, there we go. Now we've unlocked the belt loader here. This is a part that we can put down, and you can select what you want to take off the thing. Super nice. It's got a whole bunch of settings here, but that way it'll only take oil out, and we can basically specify how much you want left in the warehouse. If you want to leave the warehouse at 50%, you can leave this at 50% and it'll leave 50% in the warehouse. Alright, so that's going to do it for this episode. We unlocked that goal here. Next is AGI candles and spice melange, but those are quite complicated, but we will get to them next episode. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.